Welcome to this step-by-step guide on navigating an insurance claim after an electrical fire. In the next few minutes, we will turn confusion into a clear plan so you can protect your home, your finances, and your peace of mind. Let's begin by previewing what we'll cover today and how each step builds on the last. Here is the roadmap. We will start with immediate actions, then move into safety and living expense benefits, followed by the claim flow, your leverage with adjusters and contractors, hidden smoke damage, lender escrow, realistic timelines, and finally a concise checklist and key takeaways. Along the way, we will include quick quizzes to make sure the essentials are clear. Now, before we dive in, let's set an important disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute legal, financial, or insurance advice. Policy language, regulations, and practices differ by jurisdiction and carrier. Always read your policy and consult qualified local professionals such as licensed public adjusters, restoration contractors, hygienists, or attorneys to address your unique situation. With that in place, let's transition to your first critical steps. Act immediately but strategically. First, do not repair or clean unless it is necessary to prevent further damage. Second, document the entire scene with extensive photos and videos from multiple angles, including hidden areas like attics and HVAC returns. Third, preserve damaged items and avoid discarding anything until the adjuster has assessed it. Fourth, ensure safety by shutting off affected circuits if safe and engaging a licensed electrician for hazards. Fifth, read your policy's conditions section and follow your duties after a loss precisely. Sixth, determine habitability, and if the home is uninhabitable, activate additional living expenses coverage and save every receipt for lodging and related costs. Seventh, start a claim log to track every communication and decision. Finally, if the home is recently built, review the builder's warranty to see whether the builder should be involved before or alongside insurance. With the immediate steps established, let's address safety and ALE in more detail. Begin by prioritizing health and air quality. When smoke is heavy, ventilation and professional assessment are critical. Next, address utilities. Coordinate with qualified professionals to shut off and inspect electrical, gas, and HVAC systems. If your home is uninhabitable, additional living expenses may cover comparable lodging and certain incidentals per your policy language. Save every receipt and maintain itemized records, as proof is essential for reimbursement. Consider pets and special accessibility needs and confirm what is covered. If your home is newly constructed, verify whether the builder's warranty may apply to the electrical issue. As a practical documentation tip, organize receipts and records into category-based folders and maintain a running total. Now that safety and living arrangements are covered, we will visualize the overall claim journey. This flowchart shows the path from the fire event to the final payment. We begin at the fire event and immediately apply the immediate rule, which includes stopping non-essential repairs, documenting thoroughly, and reading the policy conditions. We then file the claim, after which the insurer's adjuster performs an inspection. Parallel to that, we secure multiple bids and an independent scope to compare against the insurer's initial estimate, which is often low. We then enter a supplement and negotiation phase, where discrepancies are resolved. If the repair total exceeds the lender's threshold, funds may be placed into a mortgage-controlled escrow account, introducing draw schedules and inspections. Permits and smoke remediation occur next, followed by repairs and lender draws. The process culminates with a final inspection and the final payment to close out the claim. With the big picture in view, let's look at roles and leverage with adjusters and vendors. Understand that the company adjuster works for the insurer and is tasked with controlling costs. You are not required to use the insurer's preferred vendors. You can and should obtain multiple bids and detailed line-item scopes from independent contractors. Separate smoke remediation from rebuild scopes for clarity. When estimates are low, use a supplement strategy supported by robust documentation, photos, code citations, and expert reports. Consider hiring a licensed public adjuster who represents you for a fee percentage and often identifies overlooked damage. Prepare for cash flow constraints, as initial payments are commonly insufficient. Plan for phased draws and supplements. Use the escalation path desk adjuster to field, adjuster to supervisor, and maintain thorough records of every communication. Next, let's directly compare preferred vendors and independent professionals. Preferred vendors may arrive quickly and understand insurer processes, which can expedite some approvals, but they may also be incentivized to limit scope and align closely with the insurer's cost objectives. Independent professionals allow you to choose based on expertise and thoroughness. Competitive bids can create leverage and drive more accurate scopes, including appropriate replacement where cleaning is insufficient. Independents are accountable directly to you. Now, let's test your knowledge with a quick question. Question: which action best protects your claim within the first 24 hours after an electrical fire? Options: A. Start cleaning soot immediately. B. Document extensively and avoid repairs except emergency mitigation. C. Wait a few weeks. D. Call only the contractor and skip the insurer. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is to document extensively and avoid repairs except emergency mitigation. This preserves the scene for the adjuster, supports a complete scope, and protects your ability to claim all necessary remediation. Now let's dive deeper into hidden smoke damage and why it often requires more than superficial cleaning. Smoke and soot migrate widely, contaminating HVAC systems and living spaces. HVAC components, ducts, and returns can recirculate particulates and odors. Porous building materials, including drywall and insulation, often require replacement rather than cleaning. Soot can be corrosive, affecting electronics and appliances. Document and evaluate them carefully. Independent testing by an industrial hygienist can establish contamination levels, remediation protocols, and clearance criteria, which strengthens your claim. Effective deodorization may involve negative air, HEPA filtration, and sealing of surfaces. Create a detailed contents inventory, room by room, with photos, and a designation of salvageable versus non-salvageable items. With hidden damage understood, let's formalize your documentation plan. Use this checklist to structure your file. Include comprehensive photos and video, your full policy and endorsements, and every ALE receipt tied to dates. Collect detailed bids and scopes for both smoke remediation and rebuild. Maintain a communications log capturing dates, names, and outcomes. Keep permits and inspection results, and if used, clearance reports from hygienists. Build a contents inventory with photos and salvage designations. Finally, gather lender communications for escrow procedures, draw schedules, and inspection confirmations. With documentation in order, we will map the people and entities involved in your claim. This mind map centers on the home fire claim and organizes the key stakeholders. The homeowner branch covers documentation, ALE tracking, inventory, and contractor selection. The insurer branch includes the call center, field and desk adjusters, and preferred vendors. The public adjuster branch focuses on policy review, scope advocacy, and negotiation. The contractors branch includes mitigation teams, hygienists, a general contractor, electrician, and HVAC professionals. The mortgage lender branch manages escrow, draws, and inspections. The authorities branch includes fire department reporting and building department permits and inspections. Finally, the timeline branch captures major phases, including bids, supplements, remediation, rebuilds, and closeout. Next, we will examine how lender escrow impacts cash flow and scheduling. When repair totals exceed the mortgage lender's threshold, insurance funds may be placed into escrow and released in stages. Checks can require multiple endorsements, so factor in time for signatures and mailing. Draws are typically tied to progress and may require inspections and listen waivers. Communicate lender requirements to your general contractor early so they can manage cash flow. Keep digital copies of all documents and provide them promptly for lender review. If a draw stalls, request the lender's escalation process and clarify exactly what proof is needed. With financing logistics addressed, let's take one more quick quiz. Question: if the insurer's offer seems low or the process stalls, what is the best next move? Options: A. Accept the offer. B. Get multiple independent bids and consider hiring a public adjuster. C. Proceed without approvals. D. Stop documenting. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is to get multiple independent bids and consider hiring a public adjuster. This combination frequently surfaces overlooked damage, strengthens your supplement, and can increase the settlement to reflect the true cost of restoration. Now, let's set realistic timing expectations using a visual timeline. This timeline illustrates common phases and their sequencing, though actual durations vary widely. Early days focus on emergency mitigation, documentation, and filing the claims. The first couple of weeks typically include adjuster inspections and an initial estimate. Weeks 2 to 6 are often spent on competitive bids, supplements, and scope alignment. Months 2 to 4 can cover permitting, smoke remediation, and selective demolition. Months 4 to 8 often include repairs, inspections, and lender draws. Finally, months 8 to 12 can involve punch lists, final payments, and closeouts. Front-load documentation to reduce later delays. Anticipate multiple inspections and revisions, and keep your lender and general contractor aligned on draw timing and proof requirements. With timing in mind, let's consolidate the most important takeaways. The essential points are to follow the immediate rule, leverage independent contractors and multiple bids, and consider a public adjuster for advocacy. Recognize that hidden smoke damage often necessitates replacement rather than cleaning. If costs are high, expect lender-controlled escrow and draw schedules. Document everything, track ALE carefully, and plan for a multi-month process. Now let's wrap up with a final summary and your next steps. You now have a practical blueprint. Secure the scene, document thoroughly, and follow your policy conditions. Align independent bids and scopes to uncover true costs and support supplements. Exercise your right to choose contractors and consider a public adjuster for advocacy. Anticipate lender escrow controls and plan for draw logistics. Above all, stay organized and consistent to accelerate approvals. Finally, here's how you can support the channel and keep learning. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe, and share your questions or experiences in the comments. Your engagement helps others discover this information and supports future deep dive guides.